A move from 49.38 billion to 61.30 billion. A move from 49.38 billion to 61.30 billion. Yeah, I could be here condemned. The Abraham this for Bonina no. I call yet to say, or bar or qua wadia with Mr. Wanche. Udiabancha on your day. Utubancha, Unia. Because Ultra Kanda send ya a year light wave a year, or change your the comma, why as your solution, or my head that change the Ghana baby kind, any idea, oh, we are near. Oh, yes, some George, dear, a year or so, some baby say now, oh, we are near. Now, some medium feed a baby
registration, no, me, sure, say, mayo.
David.
Some George already. I have my
we respect some George. I
won't do it, and nobody can disconnect me.
That won't point to me. Because I link here the other.
Now, OSHA sector by sector, no, even ministers no crano. One more mama a power massempano, will be a reality. Now, local government, the annual bobo, so on would you say, don't get yet. They say you know crampo ma obakona o the mensuro na the mensuro to
where do we madam for power mensuro
yo mensuro
I would mensuro
ya chiru condemn no na mo not ya rema ya ba makoma de entu mu wiako dem dey to so ni say
somewhere no abi
so we have debt portfolio and as a profiler name crowd has say ya a year 19 years ni nyina JJ Rollins na 7.1 billion President Kufuor ba ye 8 years ni nyina ni ade no he added just 1 billion to it. Mills e ba ya obetwa ya 4 years ya Mills beto ayi mama beto aso Mills crowd yes all the time no the other bedu so na a little over 3 billion 4 years na mama ba ye no issue 2 equal 21 billion mama kroya o so what you say
end up dog kan no
so
I don't know first and want
7.1 billion Rollins Kufuor there 8 billion addition of 1 billion no and a Mills there near 29.2 billion and mama jeni nyina what you say na odi no to nchen na afei oba na Kufuor do enfie nwotwe ye na the projects no ebre na ma kwa bienka ye so ayi say ebinsi da e ka obo ye nyina no ono so bill no de ko ye nyina no what the 20 billion e ka ho e de ko do 49.60 billion the okran so asemo ho NDC for ba mo kan na for mo kotua aka mo so mo 60 billion nti ono so mo wi bi akọ ye di o mo chi den
mati
na say wo ba ye yi a enu 1 year no kura enu 2 years no a move from 49.38 billion to 61.30 billion.
And 12
yeah, I could be here condemned.
Minority, it can be big kakra.
Yes.
May the count kakra. OSHA natural resource governance globally. A ban license na. Idea almost say corruption, any conflict of interest. Idea, in fact, when even investors even see say. A lease cry was even given out by conflict of interest. They try so on widen. Yeah, I'm saying here that mind the problem. But Brett said yeah, Miss Senior Mr. Audu Ekain. OSHA minority ni issue. Now there is a connection between the president using the brother's president jet.
Yes.
OSHA Article 257(6) of the 1992 Constitution. Ghana, yeah, minerals is in the hands of the president for us.
Yes,
in trust.
OSHA the Act 703. It has been executed by Honorable Emmanuel Amakufibua, who is the minister responsible for mining. But when I appointed Amakufibua,
President Mahama.
President Joe Mahama.
Yeah.
So, Sir President Mahama, F5 engineers and planners for private jets. Edu 2 coin idea. Now, engineers and planners ever apply mining lease. I was a President Mahama and a granted mining lease now. Can we conclude? Say a conflict of interest and
you can safely conclude.
Who grants the mining lease? Is it the minister
you can safely
the
conclude.
president?
So
Akufo-Addo never. The minister is acting
on behalf of the president.
On behalf of the president. President Akufo-Addo never signed any mining license.
Yes.
But when the LI 2462 was passed to control mining in forest, it was assumed that it was President Akufo-Addo.
Yeah.
So President Mahama and what to me say Ghana ye minerals in Nano or also to me. So by this calculations in Pono and legal, and law, Article 284 of the 1992 Constitution, see, a public official shall not put himself in a position where his personal interest conflict or is likely to conflict with the performance or the function of his office.
Yes.
So in the coming days, I'm not a lawyer. I'm expecting lawyers to raise a case. Say President Mama Mpafa EMP for playing one day then unless he has to recuse himself, or we need to have an independent panel to award this mining lease because the conflict of interest is clearly established.
And because although he is holding a unit in trust for the people of Ghana.
Yes, please.
Now winning Ora.
Yeah.
Ora document now Mukika Boom.
Yeah.
Baby something will be moving state capture.
Yeah.
Now state capture no me read back up.
Yeah.
Was a Brian Champions Slate Hotels scandal.
Yeah.
Stroke Blay Brothers and the Labadi Beach Hotel beachfront saga.
Ni na ora do.
Any.
Oh, now na doc on the room.
Me pacho Eric somebody who and Akaline. Mo be am to that so I made am that a green.
That document garbage
A full of garbage. Was say in a clear what they were very categorical. Yeah. In a clear case of state capture.
Yeah.
When this is a document submitted to John Dramani Mahama as president. In a clear case of state capture, the Blay brothers, sons of former sons of former NPP national chairman Freddie Blay, through their company Express Logistics Limited, unlawfully took control of the beachfront traditionally managed by the state-owned Labadi Beach Hotel without proper authorization, effectively diminishing the hotel's exclusive assets. And this is called state capture. Are they really state capture in the eyes of NDC led by Jodomani Mahama? But we tender no started in secrecy. What's a man requires one fan in feed you go and you so no go to gold no. Then they state capture.
Yeah.
And the way they are continental capture.
For now, I need a sponsorship for a law firm.
And you be
now you're the case you could do baby. I say that nobody hates any Ghanaian.
With him. State capture back and then a phone. Akufado's daughters in Sumunam land grab. Akufado daughters in Sumunam land grab.
You was a restaurant, no?
But you see,
or rent you.
As I said, you will be
but you see, let's be very factual here. Document here will go. In as much as we are terming this document as rubbish or what, the MPP communication team should not be sleeping
on this.
They should also start compiling the same.
Of course. Let my yato. Compiling. I was a bad man and the most publication.
Compile the Bamon compile garbage. Yes, they can do a similar thing, but no more compiling garbage. So that will actually no be out because I never woman in a garbage.
Okay, maybe the person will compile it too.
But what if the garbage gave them the vote?
No more there. Now, we suggested
requirements are ingredients we know a state capture no. You're supposed to the same ingredients.
Now, why a correct one?
And a correct one according to NDC for standard.
Okay,
according to proper standard is
you do no, but you see, a president's brother's company, when a president flies that company's private jet, and that company now needs a state property. It's not a garbage.
No. And no come it's say obia currently private property. Oh yeah no juma what to say garbage state property na obia and no garbage. To say America for so my grant based on PDS and Akufo-Addo president Akufo-Addo say process no kwa machum and a grant no almost say Omo farm my ebium $190 million. What say a sky say Akufo-Addo ama ya free scandal.
Into a scandal.
A scandal.
Now me who am definition of scandal?
Now be ama or chew scandal or this scandal me fan chew biu.
What's this scandal say?
$190 million.
One say
$190 million.
Correct, no one no. What they say $190 million PDS scandal. Almost the scandal. 12 million a Japan payoff. There's a basa anyway. It's
moment of truth.
Okay.
So moment of truth. The famous moment of truth. Normal list scandals. SEC war. President Akufo-Addo Akufo-Addo grants 24 million tax waivers to his in-law to build private hotel at Clash Airport.
Did they forget? He said President Mahama also granted tax waiver to his junior brother EMP, and they this
scandal. That one not no. Akufo-Addo there.
I say in-law.
Brother-in-law. Many EMP people a attachment.
No. That was the about buy on Ganti tax waiver. Why
Yanko.
They listed that as a scandal.
Maybe Yanko will street away.
Oh, maybe. Okay. I would do favorite.
As our time, ma.
Oh, as I was saying,
9:40.
Hey. Then jet and as
that was
so
the open waffle.
Because Anka scandal I was reading
jet I won't do the jet
Calistus Mahama, executive secretary to President Mahama.
Yes.
Open letter when Ibrahim ne plane in some you buy.
Yan one trophy. Do a troya and say by November this year. Na President Mahama akotop a presidential jet. Adia okaya no. Yeah, because adia nyansa mu ano no.
Na okay no man o tro ani bia. Na o say ye ko hwe ni tiu ani President Akufo-Addo ne power
manka.
Ampa
manka so.
We should go with obia ementi minya kwant mi kan.
Same way.
Obia go Calistus Mahama. Calistus Mahama. Letter. Our open letter on presidential jet. Google beba.
No kind per one paragraph be me share.
Or say what the public often see is the aircraft taking off or landing. What is less visible is the difficult balance that must constantly be struck between particularly security, cost, and national dignity when a president is traveling. Presidential travels is unlike any other form of travel. It is not merely a journey from one city to another. It carries with it a layers of responsibility, security protocols, diplomatic engagement, communication system, and the simple but critical requirement that heads of state remain able to function as executive authority of the republic even while traveling of kilometers away from Accra.
Okay. To function as executive.
So to play more sebi you only on your security on your protocol on your
so be function as executive that be Akufo be
Uncle fa or say in fact Ukofa uka letter no question so Ukofa a trotro na say normal plane a year is as dangerous that anybody should not wish that for a president. Calistus Akufo-Addo there no for plane no there
why less or no less human Akufo the less human
you see Akufo the uncle for plane na e dey never kwahwe from and uncle for plane
convenience
na President Mahama there onu ko na be person obey adwuma on board enti
baby was say I was so to function
wow
as executive president
ya Google non ko kan na wiase ohun yes ma ebre now the soul sourcing argument
yeah moka enye ebre nyankopon na betua bi no moka
ami
audu mama yeah soul sourcing ya o ma akofa be unim nobody has said soul sourcing is illegal and that the NDC demonized soul sourcing say so you soul sourcing now you kromfo me document bi ama Audu Mahama
me fama
oh we hwe
watch room media
to the extent some yes some dey bro Godon best friend Sami Gemfi or say government award contract to relative friends through sourcing now or say avenue om di riska na me madam for okujeto abla kwasam de menka
unka say
che say areho
that guy
in fact President Mahama kwara de o say source no ba obetwam
na enye ade papa was say a part of our procurement process. They called it a big scandal. Into share moment of truth list of scandals are omo eye na awdu aka PDS ne waiver assembly till or say $12.5 million sole sourced contract for blood distribution drones. One of the major scandals I see under MPP. Just say omakoto blood distribution drones are the moja ebeko.
Yes.
Nkurase ni ade no. Omukoton so yomizu so source no omukoto enti a big scandal. No moment of truth. Almost list another scandal.
Moment of truth. I know one leading.
Oh, I guess I'm one of them. Your press conferences. We will be 360.
360. Maybe.
Or say government restores quota system in nursing training institution through backdoor. Any major scandal. Till wife of Samia Oku grabs juicy free zone feeding contracts. The Samia Oku nere akoje feeding contract.
School feeding.
School that be who's a free zones. No kitchen. No mama a man for say men aduane ewo. In the Samia Oku yere akwa apply akonya opportunity say obeton aduane ewo free zones no. A scandal. And go and check government agencies. Mwamuna eye caterers wo. Na no any major scandal. Oh, so they demonized soul sourcing. Let's say most of it ICC yes bonny.
In fact, President Mahama campaign time.
Yes,
video. You know cast of Obomoji.
Obetwem.
That be fair. What's so Obama war chairman for anyone when you know Omoma Aku police ni soldier educate or obejini no video no ha is rather unfortunate say bibi enya mele so technical maybe I make one answer na sorry and today I will say it on air yanko. Yeah, I will have to say it.
Now him I will say a woman say wabra Abuja case nearby Abuja call parliament ko kind statement. In fact, I don't even go into the pricing. So no
forget the pricing
because who say one man who the list of sources the manner I quite will say 24 kilometers it costed 300 million Ghana cedis 300 million 9 kilometers 146 million Ghana cedis 24 half 150 mpoa 9 kilometers it costed almost the same amount so the price in there that the argument no a fairly cry but I don't mention just a midday
kind oh there coso
now I know the what can say or the no trade in child the beside can sound of best watch right
okay Sami Demfi need defense of so sourcing now obeya na say agency ni nyoma nyoma na ayi ni nyina no baby tie or conclude no say as a matter of fact 23 out of the 84 big push roads projects such as Swami Interchange Ofanko Nsahom Adenta Dotoa etc. are inherited projects that were all awarded by the previous MPP government through sole sourcing with no dedicated funding. The government has simply novated the projects, maintained the contractors and provided for the funding for them. The 23 projects were not awarded, yet the Fourth Estate has mischievously added all these projects to their list of sole sourced contracts awarded by the government. Into our choice or the diffuse say 84 na omu can say omu buy no my sole source na enya no kre. Now omu their MPP contracts any adwuma or the amana da abekan. But okofa Agbojani statement or the call parliament na. The so-called 23 projects no were listed say omu projects. Mr. Speaker, in fact, to be fair, Odika boy be a year 23 project. Obekaya I say over here at 2 force in this budget now. While listed project be our say a no anya contract that I could loan that but omo twentwe so because of the DDP ne ehwa kasa ne arumi na omo ye.
Yeah.
23 projects ni na wo. So some dey argument say na funding one is a lie. The funding according to forcing based on the budget is there. But na akoye say because say na abino ne international partners arrangement
DDP no
domestic and external debt arrangement kasa enti na o ma twentwen so nduka to force statement now say o ma wie debt exchange program no enti that funding from the international partners are buying MP abayakoji loan dada no the release is coming and on listing all the projects Kaswa to Winneba Rose in there mama bobo so what happened mami your bekai but what show omo dey na omasa listing all those projects as part of the big push as their projects.
Let's say this can hold that.
It can hold that according to force celebrating you can maybe next week we have to read it.
Yeah.
Now a man for you. But what's on the list to say ni na omo a project and a Abuja kase senke enye say omo big push omo ye so kasa project no nka enkoso. In fact we share or say Mr. Speaker, it is globally acceptable to use sole sourcing even in situations where there is the need to extend implementation of works. Mr. Speaker, given to the scale, the urgency, and national importance, and yeah, Omana meaning says MPPD and Nanka, Omo projects and national important. The following projects, for example, would have remained stalled or not commenced, and Obo Kaswa Winneba Road, and Obo Winneba Interchange.
You shouldn't have commenced that.
To forcing the budget of Kokai or Parliament. And let's say priority projects and restructured bilateral debt arrangement. Obo project, sir, 23 projects here okay and ono kase senkenya so source omo ye yanka project aka no to force mention
the
that MPP project. Who can't some give you no chance MPP project one ma or ma water dada. It's a good job palm could try and throw. Say yes so some ya and all those or say Winneba interchange. Any dualization of Winneba
big push.
No big push by project in starting.
I order the funding will order that.
Any starting to the extent someone didn't try to also say a ECOWAS funded project.
Yes. I.
Campaign time almost ECOWAS there.
Yes. As when they or say yes so and Kasa project nka enkoso. Could transfer yisa.
How do you uncle?
Look. First of all, first of all, fourth estate before they have not lied about anything.
Okay.
Look, first of all, Yenda Akufado, I say one of the best things are Nyankopon de Amagana, Akufado. You may NDC for Betima can be beer of Akufado, but Nyankopon. I say one of the very best things are Nyankopon dia magana Akufado. RTI unim say Rolling Stone they start here. Yentimi am pass RTI. Ye ba Kufo, ye ba John Mills, ye ba John Mahama, and ye ba Akufado. Akufado say to put light on darkness or be pass RTI. Now all governments have not been able to pass. Unim say RTI now. Fourth estate use any information from Ministry of Roads and Highways.
And I'm trying to be the day before the corner no pass it.
No,
a pass
no pass it.
Years before.
That is RTI. Jom eno nema ye darkness na kawe mi na be cause RTI na put the sunshine on this. Yes. Then let's come to
before we monitor other stations.
Yes.
We may comment. We say
okay.
Brand TB says Senor Hosi.
Yes.
Our baby say what information free one of the ministries. He's been told reliably say I catch some information in man.
Okay.
It's
Senor Hosi many baby I
almost say
request no they will get thousands.
Oh, I'm
say by law you have to.
We say anyana the court.
Or the back court. Look, 4th Estate wrote to Minister of Health say, give me the list of contracts awarded by NDC government. One can say yo under big push.
Yeah.
Oman can say awarded by Akufo-Addo Abayo.
It's a big push. Big push.
Big push Akufo-Addo project. Now who had the report man one man answer you sir. What's he has done what? Was he give me road contracts under big push. Big push na Akufo-Addo project. Now what for Akufo-Addo project they are too big push. So now the man so person the glory. So assemble now the man Akufo-Addo. First of all, woman contracts 107 contracts under big push. And analyzing contracts no who say 81 a sole source.
Yes.
81 a sole source no, it means that 75% who Abuja Oba Parliament.
44.
Also 44%. We know why he got the 44%. No. He didn't, it was not based on 107 no. We see omuma contracts of 400 contracts no my. It means that 44% of the 400 contracts.
Oh wow.
Yes. The 44% no, it's not based on 107 no mo the man.
It's based on total
contracts for mama and the big push 400.
Yeah, be restricted. It be competitive.
No. It is based on a 400 no my no. Yes, it be restricted, be competitive. But 44% of the 400 and 44 a sole source. And then now Abuja and Minnesota man for 400 contracts na ama 4th Estate. That's question number one. So when you say why competitive bidding, why BBA, why didn't they give all the total number of contracts? Why didn't they give to 4th Estate? 4th Estate did the calculation based on what the man figure out the man. And you see, Peter say no on figures. It is based on figures now. Moka say so source no MPP are buying Akufo-Addo are buying no move esca through so sourcing.
Yes.
And they gave figures per a kilometer.
I was say
on Abuja no say a kilometer of road 1 kilometer asphalt road 1.2 billion dollars no. Or say also do.
It's a video.
But look at this. Sapiti and Sapiti and Yana where don't I mean
Sapiti or the dad.
Renovation
okay. Say no
oh na say you do I base work.
Oh now be base right. The base is asphalt.
No, but we sapite.
No, sapite.
But I wanted to two am dey
gravel no dey say you kakra quota for kakra
quota issue.
Na oh na wo dey mama reading and they we Peter kra who distract me. Shall we? Say the Suleiman Abraham Chroye. And no now say yam ko no me meko. Is this a value for money? Let's start with just a very small awarded under small one awarded under even restricted tender. Restricted and no crying so source. Restricted pony now so source.
How do my main child is a mania dog. Dr. Good morning.
Good morning, my brother.
Hey, oh, Nadia, what dear, my miss, my dear, me about. Na baby awo ni ntino ye be enkomoni anka enkwachi ye be ne ketua bi se me call baby me ko no Facebook say enkofo bi I fact check say wo say MPP NDC ba yi obabo besia bi aka ho aba be 12 billion I said abeka ho omo say the kind no ye factually inaccurate it say
me da say na me tia achieve na me yanti ankomo no me so me kan Obi akobo bosia me chon baby aso obi akobo bosia
and it here dog tie was say Dr. Dunfest claim government borrowed $12 billion in 1 year misleading we na omo dia ba Ghana web and that was here making kind
Ghana web
inyo
na say no omo kan no in fact my church you say enkomo bi a me last week me asase radio we di here. Now it was about our debt addition. Debt accumulation. Debt accumulation, and that is different from borrowing. When we say debt accumulation, that is different from borrowing. In the
yes. Okay. Oh.
That's what you say. Now,
Dog Patrick, Facha Krabi. Almost claim, almost say this is your claim. It's the claim now, almost you made the so that you fact checking claim almost over here. The claim is on March 21, 2026, a flyer circulated by Asifwa FM 92.7 reported that Dr. George Domfe, a lecturer at the University of Ghana, claimed that the NDC government had borrowed 12 billion within a year. Verdict almost misleading. And you know also was one kind of baby I said they had borrowed rather a debt accumulation. Yes, sir.
Yes, I'm on the church. Saying it here. You can't say debt accumulation. Let's say, about the betting of the Bobu Sabi baby, you know, trade. What's that? The betting money here. So what I say, and you know. That you borrow you look at the beer far higher than 12 billion about out. Now debt accumulation was I'm making because NDC by almost says in Chia stock on there, but we pay the flows and the only Chia and the same at Oko Bank of Ghana website. Oko Bank of Ghana almost website. Yeah, we be a road chain, be a study working care in Biano. Uncle Bank of Ghana website. Now, also, we share public debt. Public debt. Now, public debt, you know, you are going to be cool for the corner. Now, 7.1 billion US dollars. 7.1 billion. Sorry, you are Rollins, Mom. Rollins, they hand over to you are going to be cool for. 7 January, the year 2021. Now, Ghana, your total debt accumulation, you are not the total debt accumulated, you know, over the years, you know. Now, 7.1 billion US dollars. And now, you are at the Kunku for over Busia baby. Now, Busia, I'm going to be so change. Until I make a it's not the same as debt accumulation. You are the Kunku for Busia baby, and so. All the corner, not Ghana debt could do 8 billion US dollars. Let us say, Ushema, or normally about 900 million dollars and a car Ghana account. In terms of debt accumulation, at the Kunku even up to 1 billion and Ghana account, name or the less than 1 billion and a car Ghana account. And then John Dramani Mahama, Esubai. Don't know many mama buy Obisumu. All the corner. Now, almost so a cano or the I see 8 billion will be dying. Also go down to 29.2 billion US dollars. You are John Dramani Mahama. Exactly on 7 January 2017. All under Obama and El Kufado as a new president. Now, Ghana, you total debt stock in dollars. Said the Bank of Ghana can now yet 29.2 billion US dollars. Now I know that now could have to be soon. I can't call any until by the end of the year 2021. Now you can could do 60 billion US dollars. Yes, I do in the Bank of Ghana website. The number of the Google 60 billion US dollars. You ensure them Ghana customer. I do sometimes that the highest we had recorded at the time, 2001, 60 billion US dollars. Now, I can't do so. At the Mikiano, at the Abinidi, at Ghana, and my Ibrahim brand here. And then I California, the then finance minister, be any moon sell the BBS debt restructuring. Let us say, Yakano or system at Tuka. So, at Tuka. Now, a two now, it be a bilateral, maybe a euro bond, and a domestic bond, or the baby, such as the baby. And what can you be the baby chair? It come on a Kufa, the sea of Benjamin. Not Ghana, you total debt stock, you total debt accumulated. I could do 49.375. 49.375. and Nana Akufo the Jai at the end of December 2024. It is a Ghana level, so why no cross check, you know, on Tia, not only to go any penny or Ghana. You see, Nana Akufo, the Coco Bank of Ghana website, at the house, not Ghana with total debt. In fact, last year, budget Tayura, after forcing the review, a crana, one of the appendices, either I think that table, appendix table number 10A, and Kaya. Now, the total debt stock, no, now, Nana Akufo the guy, can say. 49.37 billion US dollars. That's it. Open the whole they back 2 decimal places that only na. Ubenya 1 decimal place. Ubenya 49.4. Or 49.375. Now, so 49.375. At the end of December 2025, now you can do 61.3. She's a Ghana web, so there you won't see no mean. Ghana and a phone adoption. The total debt accumulated for John Dramani Mama in 12 months, 11.93 billion. It doesn't editor. 11.93. And then I'm talking to get in Google. Now, Ghana web was one my car. Minimum missionary trial. No one share the difference between borrowing and debt accumulation. They are different. Borrowing is about the Baba Timor Bobusha, the Bible, and Ekufado, or the $20 billion and a kayak. And so, Bobusha, the borrowing was far higher. When I'm saying they can't be chased, and I'm a castle, you can do 60 billion or 2021. So I'm not good about the connect and share about 49.375. It's less near the Kennedy Archer. It's an Akufo with that accumulation, you know, over the 8 years, you know, 20 billion, a little over 20 billion, I mean 21. And then you are John Dramani Mama Mills. Some government did the highest debt ever Ghana account. In the region of 21 billion, so say that we are can do 61.3 billion about some of the Ghana. In terms of dollars, you can move so sad the highest ever. Now make us say, I don't know 2021 we recorded the highest ever at 50. And Nadia, the highest ever nominal debt in terms of dollars. This is the highest ever at the end of December 2025. In Alabama.
I mean, Musa will say it is said what's the difference between debt accumulation and first borrowing leading to debt. No, me patron, Enra me who say finance minister at the Abba baby say Omukwa issue 7-year bond. It's no technically no loan and Omukwa but you know explanation to saying.
And she said, yeah, can Oman economy no in national. They are no come a trauma among fools. I see about the revenue targets are open. And I mean, last year 2025. Why not be and I'm so when you have the engine, scam or cars or best spending. When you spend anywhere closer. So, I shall say, I'm going best spending 259 billion. I feel quite, you know, media review, no more by say about 250. And so, I don't know the year, the figure that I'm getting even indicated you could not even stand up to 200 billion. That is about over 60 to 70 billion. I did be our council there. When to because we're in Africa. Now, that's a lot of force into the other car. I could check Krana or Mupiano or Mubobusia 17 billion Ghana cities and the Chia Ghana at my folk. That is a not sure how serious things are being, how badly things are being managed. Now, Ghana, we not Ghana where we know what the Jim Jones, you know. Assembly will be the Tobiano. Well, kind of colonel. Now, we will let you do so. Now, remember the Ghana where Bobo for us and Tree. Now, after months, we didn't have no loans on the commands of power. When the first person call a camera Martin and Tree. The Baba Venema reply almost here. And dog, there be a premier message the amount. I'll share the link with you. Share the link. And the man now, born. So, I'm sorry, there be almost stories. I'm the farmer will be at the Bacas Omo yard. And it says, Abano, or church is coming down listening for. it is a be up or Kasama or Rubena Kakredi. No, you are Sigana. And then you probably see Omunas and Kutu, Ghana. But you may be on one day, then we'll see some such as you. The way the way she come in, and over the detour, like you have to take one day. Now, young couple and some other things that make it. Abano, he cannot offer the other name, but it is unbelievable. The office of one is obey bonds, Abona, and I could father move up by fact, you are the man, Mamma Mopens, who will be born. It said, when I could father mobile, domestic debt exchange programmer. Now, born and not after my banner ready to the tune of around $20 billion. Kiakana, it could be $60 billion at the end of the 2021. $20 billion, about the type. Domestic bond and about no about almost about where domestic bond. The non-said debt restructuring, and we say anyone in a buy into no, and take a culture about suspended bond. Now, Fabri at Puma, Abdullah Puma, Ama Abaya Abai, our Konya said, Minoka said, Nada Corporation, Rizzi Bona, Obikin. It is I said, in your bond, almost a Somuano. A Mosia, Mundian, and almost a Somuye, now almost a council, a Bobusia. In fact, said the enemy was said the year I don't remember Nimnos, almost the record said in the South Republic, almost total debt addition, I had the highest in 21 billion. And then I said, what's your chance, or back corner, or that's all DT or no other records. And all I hear Chima Cassette. Mention in Akobasa because Bob with a huge interest rate because they now war man FM. Not you are don't Mama Kwan of Bobusia. Sometimes I can walk when you were figures of our own of Akanaka. Let me tell Tiamupa. One time, or Bobusia Gua, and Wunsi only at the Adeno. Sometimes 21 I could do by the new Tiara in Timpia. At the same time, I buy a lot that's Autism and Ekufadano. All of them and you be honest with a bono. It is not very I don't know many mamma, they see a layer. You click out of the or the first or boy, or Bobby Baby, I know the idea credit near Bull and Samano. Not in Chileman and near by the Bano, one and now about this Nadia, and no, any chance who did
Dr. Jojo for your bedasi. This week, 1-on-1, extensive one. Nanka Saturday, Ecoista, Nanka Yaboman for Ashe on the economy. Bedasi, Oba, you be dinkum.
Now, about the house there, my Dana webinar as any boy.
No, for the amount. Ghana will for the publicity. The best of your story now, and what fit, mess and the amount. Why? I was the work at the and about the family. Now, they say everything and make it come out. You would like to I said more wisdom, Adam Gomashi, or something kind of watch you. Oh, yeah, wisdom, Moon Consignor Juma, Moon Consignor Juma, very good. With all you try that guy go do no one the bassa, no munya don't bury your money. What is that? And I do go on in here as me did say, no credit any renting. You also can't cry wisdom. Let me bet you, why? I was appointed Dr. Jordan for Senior Research Fellow, University of Ghana, Legon, and Mote 70 AD and Comono. Out, fetch me. My distract.
Oh, that be very important.
Yes, it's
maybe every day you can okay. My ear. About we settings no doors.
Oh, send it. Look, yes.
Na me can project back home sapiti at same cry
and yes why adim
and I mean reading or say let's start with just a very small one awarded under even restricted tender. Okay. Restricted ponio course no upgrading of apegusu mpaka na say or yeah me feeder road sign on November 25, 2025. This contract is for surface dressing, or as we call it, sapiting. Also, road length 9 kilometers. Contract sum 146,511,649 Ghana cedis. Cost per kilometer, Peter T. 16.27 million in dollar term.
Okay.
$1.47 million.
But if you want to listen, it cost 1.8 million in dollar.
Yes, but this is asphalt. But sapiti and now.
Oh yeah, sapiti. More.
And also
contract you are. And also more.
Where any asphalt?
There be.
And Akufo-Addo asphalt here then $1.2 billion. Who say it's too much?
Million. $1.2
million. Sorry. Hey, yeah, I'm about billion.
So what is that? Let's go for your book.
$1.47 million.
Yes.
And Akufo-Addo 1.2 million. Who say a also do.
Now who there and the 1.7, 1.8
million travel ebe peteno and now would go 1.47 million dollars. And now would the yakran say almost renovation be renovation of the what even mind-boggling is how they arrive at contract sum. A whooping 37.5 million is allocated as maintenance department of Federal Roads headquarters.
How much? Saying
37.5 million Ghana cedis.
Maintenance.
Any Federal headquarters.
Yeah, the Federal headquarters.
Headquarters.
I don't see that for
allocated.
Now I don't have to say. Yeah, the 11 million Ghana cedis. Equity renovation. I'm a gold board office. 11 million Ghana.
So who are the
gold board office and the Bank of Ghana? What number? Dr. Addison office.
Yes.
Hey.
You know, there's an issue to that office. There's the issue to that office. They said they are renting.
They are renting it. They are renting it.
But why property no more rent? State property and state rent.
It's a property in the Bank of Ghana. It is in the name of Bank of Ghana.
But yes, that's fair. That's fair.
And more renting.
And
the
new building was being built. What can say there was structural issues in that building. They are no more kind.
Almost say and throw a demonstration. My kind.
In fact, the problem almost it didn't befit their status.
Yes.
As a governor.
But maybe I nominate we a Ghana near your mouth. Say a Bank of
Ghana. But you know someone
Ghana cities na renovation.
Gold board.
But first one no more can say honor doesn't befit
governor not there.
And no there.
I wrong statement now. Okotu sir. I know.
I defending who?
Eh some remember.
Yes.
Only say almost say contracts no.
Yes.
Almost a dedicated fund. MPP among my contracts with that dedicated fund. Sadly, and I am in TSC. When contract is being done by a GOG, and your government of Ghana revenue na idea.
A government of Ghana.
What do you mean by dedicated fund?
There been a president Mahama war bad, so we try to hook up. Not dedicated funds will hold money try in salary na.
Me say, how big push almost say big push no, almost dedicated funds na wa him.
There's that called big.
Look,
I am quite no more.
2025. Omo approve a budget of 13.9 billion Ghana cedis for big push. Only say at the end of 2025, no more release one CD.
And quite next can you
almost say out of that, Omo allocate 9 billion at the atoho. Granted 9 billion on there. Only say 2026 budget, big push, Scar Parliament approve Omo for 2026 30.8 billion cedis. All the count 44.7 billion Ghana cedis. Meanwhile, what's one my contracts worth over 60 billion Ghana cedis?
I think 73 or okay.
No, 70 no yeah. Let's even say 60 billion.
Okay.
We approve the amount for big push contracts parliament near 44.7 for 2025-2026. Total approval 44.7 billion. Also our contracts in excess of 60 billion. Scan wire. So when they tell you there's dedicated fund for big push, and your revenue now by your generating from ports, you're generating from taxes, and no one or more big push.
But you see,
that is why there's no money anywhere. That is why Omoko bond on is it 30 for 35
for 7 years.
Raise domestic bonds. SAS can now. But who
dedicated?
Because there's no money anywhere. Dedicated funds anywhere. There's no money sitting at any bank.
I'm just contributing something small to your point. Once in 2018, President Akufo-Addo and a friend of Nebuchadnezzar, our mayor,
this for friends,
or establishing the Minerals Income Investment Fund.
Correct, mate.
For the first time in in West Africa, West Africa, a country that saw say we cannot continue to put our mineral revenues into consolidated funds. So let's create sovereign mineral wealth fund. We are saying now good ways to manage your mineral.
A good example is in Norway.
Norway, good, fantastic. Botswana too. I created this fund before MPP was leaving office. Our asset under management now was $1 billion United States dollars. Akufo-Addo didn't chop those monies. In their first budget, they have transferred 80% to consolidated,
and that's not the only account Omu use here. They took monies from.
So your point now who making you is very solid. Say it's all this monies. Into me fee. This monies all have been rigged
and into this big push.
Thank you.
All right. Now with the
they collected money from various accounts.
Accounts. Mahama case ya dem de bayi. Say national health insurance sika. Na nyamencha de
MPP.
We you senior aba. Me papa classmate.
Yes.
O fire adwa ko ba fi aba. Peter. Wo pena me yanyi tell the number. Na network hall mo. Wo numbers me nu a wo bagie. Tell no number. Ene de wo man material wo e friend say. Kantamanto.
The
pempam ni suit. The numbers me
Kantamanto me kwa me yi. Nya opam no o zongo lane o me mienu ba ko Kumasi ba ko a friend no
o suit no
suit o ko ni down men na boutique
your friend no imam obi zongo lane na he's one of the best.
Na part one next week ya ba ko ba fiti ha wo mesra mo
Ramoni abrantie na wo ya ade papa e na ba ko nso Kumasi your friend ko outlook ono so ono kra de okoye ni first degree ni second degree a masters University of fashion.
Wow.
They are very good. On crowd me no there.
Ose be kokan na go focus be meboa. Ya ba ko fini force say. Force material we come na the 5
anyway.
O di ni three say. Subs I America
ya. Na nkasa we Kumasi ni. Na tra Kumasi na no subi. Any force line there. What you say? E che ne dey say ti beka ho ni Moro market ni there.
Na say ko program we go school. Na me mate be go school na no trousers na e wo. Railways whole go. Ah, o femo sa. Ya wo se wo ya ko be 40. What two trousers full trousers mama sa at number we said to what two mama ti e ko increment bi aba wo hu. O ya say aba na obi o me bi aba. Na no pay to say.
Oh, I no pay de boko. Me twem. Na me yese me fa.
Ye da se.
Na mani age. Niema miensa na me de betudwa. Tie. Nia edi kan. MPP communication. Se nyame pe na onyade a.
Amen.
Empokura unya mai no. Wo mo pe researchers be se mienu. Empanimfo achie a crop of seasoned intellectuals or journalism. And a facts of the Mabontino. When your politics did what can you say you? In Tinkabani say there is a connection between the media now or me tilted towards MPP no. In terms of agenda setting near there. The Kamuye no they are collating information. Then we distribute it. If MPP wants to win 2028, we have the best candidate, His Excellency Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia.
Yes.
I know there is not in doubt.
Yeah.
We have the best message with the help of Akufo-Addo and Bawumia. What the Akufo-Addo be can crowd there twem. Name momono no for the messenger, the delivery and the message and then the audience. Adia ba ko ta haye pa ni sa some be kan nkran no one be kan voter. But politics is local, just as communication is local. Tinya be kan voter region no. In order to incite or create apathy must not be the same as the one Abekan Bono. And we are one. Number two, message research based. And in some more kind of opinion, the better crown, I'm overwhelmed. And it's about time they did that. enka before some penifo kura beba no ye di kan no makotra baby and brainstorming amanya information consistent
amanya
anyway so what you say na ye kuta ni sa o mo kan yi no penifo di very interesting o name consistency in communication is very important enka free Monday to Friday no the omo aka no repeatedly na to the party we need to drum home no so ehia nia etoso mienu ne miensa ebomu America na media akọja na homeda ma mema SD fo nyina happy sabbath and then no mesme economy kosom ori me fo zia ma hye ya
fatal
empanimfo NDC fo abrabo mo bo nyina no
kasa ide amenyi ni o say mo force
force
you need na designer shoe hey Charlie and they made you cheaper
that's a mini no the abrabo NDC fo bo nyina no akoye te se oba awokwa wade a wonimi se wonche obi abanche a onye den otubanche onua because all try kanda ho senior a year light wave a year o change ye the comma hwan action solution o ma head that change the Ghana be di kan any ade a o wia ne de o ya Sam George de a year wo so san be we say na o wia ne de na sami jam fidie de e bobo
registration no me sure say me o
David minya David
Sam George already I have my
we respect Sam George yes we be again it yes you be concern
I won't do it and nobody can disconnect me
that won't me because ya link here the dada
na osha sector by sector no even ministers no kura no one more mama epe o masempa no obi ewia ne de na local government ya no ebobo so no odi ase edu nketi echi me say you no kwampo ma obakona o ze mensuro na ze mensuro tusu nsuro
where do we madam for power mensuro
yo mensuro
e do mensuro
ya chiru condemn no na mo not ya yo ma ya ba makuma de etu mu wiako dem dey to so ni say
asan we no adi
so we have debt portfolio and that's a profile name crowd has say ya a year 19 years ni nyina JJ Rollins na 7.1 billion President Kufuor ba ye 8 years ni nyina ni ade no he added just 1 billion to it Mills e ba ya obetwa ya 4 years ya Mills beto ayi mama beto aso Mills crowd yes all the time no a they be do so na a little over 3 billion 4 years na mama ba ye no issue 2 equal 21 billion mama kroya o so what you say
end up dog kan no
so
I don't know face and want it
7.1 billion Rollins Kufuor there 8 billion addition of 1 billion no and a Mills there near 29.2 billion and mama dey nyina what you say na odi no to nchen na afei oba na Kufuor do enfie mwotwe ye na the projects no ebre na ma kwa bienka so ayi say ebinsi da e ka obo ye nyina no ono so bill no de ko ye nyina no what the 20 billion e ka ho and e ko do 49.60 billion na o kran so asem ho NDC for ba mo kan na fe mo kotua aka mo so mo twa 60 billion nti ono so mo wi abi di akọ ye di o mo chi dendende
mati
enna say wo ba ye yi a enu 1 year no kra enu 2 years no move from 49.38 billion to 61.30 billion.
I 12 abeka.
Yeah, that could be clear condemn. Abusia and several doors.
Okay.
The American penny for your movie. We need the special data. We quality information.
Yeah.
You see, and one thing is say, some people get me out in media. I do about how come you are embarking on a battle? And you had forgotten your strategic allies. Legon crow of all schools and Procurement and control that. UP. Tibuzi and normally Professor Bekwem don't buy and one and so first time you lose because we neglected the TESCOM and you neglected academia. Okona no muko kasa no bia ba no ahwetim. Media strongly even now they have the sympathy of the NDC kanwa atene de no ya trend de ite say de kokum na mo aboye te odi na mteme de so we learn the media as a
yeselokoso
enti meni ya na enkurase sem so be ka say media time pp media don omon pe enye so omon pe pp omon tayen
ye ne ni o
na ye ni apam wo mo Media is, I'm telling you, even Power FM, even Power FM, if you are strategic here, you can approach and make incursion there.
All right.
And now finally, the civil society. All these strategic allies, we lost them. And it's not quite to say one money. And now we are buying so I mean, and you don't want to also Kasao. The third party advocates, one Kasa, they believe them. My year a garden and you remember the best send
third party advocate and Cannabon TV because strategy. Yeah, my photo. Yeah, back my own research.
Now, more third party advocates, no, or more, you were different.
Yes. Oh, yes.
Now you see, I walk as and be said, Peter Muna would do wisdom, but I can be a penfono. My
presentation is quite probing and
me share DBCA. Now a idea, my chef consistently very 2 months in me, chef. You be a programmer, and then mash me day a you two and run the flying of 2. Any part share over 1,200.
Okay, that's good.
Na me who MPP ni pen mu bi our chef flyer no say ye be program
so sabotage.
See,
even within
MPP as a party, no single individual and a bit now so only papa go betima apijan. No single individual from Wednesday. Where's the here from Wednesday? If I tell you penny for they are not in political limelight but academia. Yeah, mo ebusa oh what na ayabante no Saturday obeba. Saturday obeba because common wo hall mo a omo hia na expertise no. Common wo ho and I don't bia no fight and figures.
Na yes anu so no one thing enipa o maboa ne politics ni e wo futu president Kufo Kandapa Matthew Poku Prempe at least ena no fa Kwame Adokufo on a separate they called me say massa the way we sit here no be bre NPP
so can you
because aside no kre no e me bia no research how be any ade no the mediocre will always attack you into an wisdom to us here no we go listening to him yes and ade ba ko ma aye who said between 2009 and 16 the then MPs are no obo mo no o friend no anu afa onu akra fail. There was an effective collaboration between them because woman ekuta bills and then the acts. Young Crawford will say no no. Ebinumu yade. As a friend of Befa. Church as here. O friend Bafo
yes. Soloku master.
Yes. Obefa.
Yamba Jalumu ko Soloku.
As a for few of them they are doing wonderful.
For fantastic.
Doctor you say Kwada so a professor Kingsley Nyako no Kojo upon Krumanu. Few of them.
Yes.
Kofi Mafo no. But majority of them Minia omukura no afauko.
Yasemo.
Until said their collaboration e buy no eni ho. Number 2. Number 2. Enka wo mu kura hwe ya ne yeka me NDC o ka se me heavy nie o say NDC ni owo ni ameko wo but one thing is certain
because we need the hot here because NDC they wouldn't certain
somebody like Haruna Brusu whether you like him or hate him or was some charisma be say o rawo a woni MPP ni man this obetia and politics is relationship. Politics I have to say
anya vet mo ko na nsen ya kobusa bubuashi no be elu so da so tibubu asi o
so see new towns ye nya so research o
that's what people say tun be but to make sure say he's still intact
na wo ba na you so be kasa
I say yeah
I'm about to me fa ho no
omo no mataya
unim say ye tia ni say message na wo kan eyo but what is more important your relationship
mati ye be di hon ko me am obi a 1 minute na wisdom me ba cho wrap up
na why say na o pan me
wo fata wedding
Andrea Parliament. Say gold board who say my year can ni adie. Your college say Parliament should open a bipartisan probe into the $214 million losses. Apart from gold now Omatono. Parliament NDC party are built on the say probity and accountability. Almost say they like accountability no by majority decision my boy go say parliament investigate go da Ghana cotton 2025 Ghana bought $214 million obi ni say enye cabo krono ene course parliament say omonye hwehwemu nti the way information na na yenu anom ketewa omoto police forms ni ya nkeka ho omonye bi anko national chairman NDC say ye fawa hwan ne be konfo ama
not taking serious look at it.
Dabadi
you employ 500,000 a year. Why not you bet you no?
Why ne be ye konfo?
Does it mean say 500,000 no konfo woman?
Enti enche bia no
because you employ money now into the system. It means that there will not be any thief again.
Yes.
Enti
enche bia obeba munanso say ope president na mo aye de na mo kan da my nso no e be say lawyers ekuku da me Ghana ha obi ope Ghana yie bia no men na makunya we say minority should immediately summon the lands and natural resources minister
now on penny the one that they will not allow
before ube tendampo no e o say woman in the state of the mine report say 1 year extension eye kra take it away 1 year no so no da mine no value to say or mine vision to say yes or mine no 10% ni so are we going to increase our stake in the mine?
Yes.
Where your questions are I also Ghana ni bia ebisa question
na minister letter no and then this statement no who say no worker be for jobs or home be ade but we read 23rd April 2025 statement by Felix Kwachu Fusua what say the two parties work in good faith to secure a successful transition and eventual transfer of a viable mine to Ghanaian ownership. It is a 1 year way no and it's a they prepare our grounds so that there will not be any lacuna space be ameda be medasi Peter yakoi
sa onangufo o mo ha adwen o
yifo no e chirofo no
ya o mo se yepempo enye scandal
je hin enye scandal
so
wanya
ya misro uni meme call early muna mo call Montessori
ina early ni
sa but we wisdom them na obeko Montessori ma pin pa
or can't fry.
A definition scandal meaning
please don't mind them. Don't mind these people.
Are you the one to tell us what is scandal?
Please, I won't allow this.
Okay.
They have dictionaries.
Mommy
and they have conscience. And they have dictionaries and they have conscience. But I'm not sure say they have conscience. And this is the conscience.
You will ban it. An avenue of looting.
President Mahama opposition say well not the under his government he will not allow any NDC person to engage in any official mining. No video no
official mining.
I'm telling you there's a video. Not even Galap was saying official mining. Over mining there get out of his government.
It's true.
Please.
Now a list of people are who are involved. Our man can fair be to the security agencies. My final point.
Me that's
sir Usaudu can be said and a minister Abujanso can say there's no funding. My boss a bill they have challenged say Atoforson never said say indeed sir Sikabi Elwa or say project. Now the Atoforson the budget now paragraph page 37 on 19th December 2022 creditors halted disbursement of 55 bilateral projects. This resulted in several uncompleted projects scattered across the country and leaving a massive amount of 3 billion in undisbursed loans. In 2022, Nanya MPP na wa bam.
MPP.
Because of bilateral arrangement in the debt $3 billion.
Now a percent restructure and it will be a good.
Yes. It was say a friend a year or must start add this basic $3 billion. Two back at 23 projects or more funding new Nanyantro.
Intro complete.
Bye bye.
How do you wrap up?
We now many opinion can John Dramani Mahama. One of the program State of the Nation any yes. This date is February 27. This is what he said. We are bringing a legislation to this house to tighten our procurement processes by banning sole source contracts, except in exceptional circumstances. We will also bring legislation to this House to make it mandatory to seek Parliament's prior approval before any government asset or property is leased out or sold, and this includes lands and state enterprises.
A papa repository of contradiction. Pow. Apostle of contradiction.
Instead of bringing legislation to ban sole sourcing, except exceptional circumstances, or the legislation bar to legalize sole sourcing.
Value for money of office.
No, but PP there was where the 665 as I say no.
And no, it has all that.
It has everything.
I see. You only do value for money when you are giving contract on sole sourcing or restricted tendering. That's the only time you do value for money audit. Because when you do competitive bidding, you don't do value for money because assume say competitive.
Yes.
Most of the time
value for money
lowest bidder now demand. But when you bring a law to say you are it's a value for money office, it means that you are intending to do sole sourcing
or restricted tendering
for the office to validate it.
Yes, you are right.
That office is value a sole sourcing office. Because they want to do sole sourcing
approval office
or restricted, so that office will just approve it. And you know, sometimes there might be a say account. If you look at the law, it is the finance minister most head of that office, and all the senior officers of that office will be appointed by the minister for finance. So that office in reality is not it is sole sourcing office normal set here. But you see, and check Ghana for omo kasano ahemfo also for the neutrals ebi omo kasano, it will knock on everybody's door. Say niema omo ye no, it will hit everybody's pocket, everybody's conscience, everybody's bibia, and sana ombesati omo kasa. Sometimes may be too late for them, but this country will move forward after that. Media come send as for politics there, because but Ghanaians will see the true colors of this government.
Okay, medasi. You do the union baby na mameka de kitu ebi. Maybe we because we say kamoka them, but you can't say what them to be city be abonti. Me wo hen.
The role is na kai.
Dr. Bamia Ekasa e London School of Economics. Yeah, more beautiful pictures. Be ka do pe me de to so. Ba min timi fan to so enya mia technical issue. Enya technical problem. Individual problem. Okay, so a technical problem fine, but a individual problem, and it is not helping the cause of weighing and what. Friday say Chamawun to me, Eastern region. Many pictures and videos. Yam best can be a chunk of war. Mean to me, show. Metia Yami Admach na Chamawun to me a storming Greater Accra. No itinerary no. Yes, can make me come uncle for tears who's a hand when I'm the to some wash. Mean to me, Doctor, don't fair casa. Made the picture I call Edwin the state of BBI. Yes, a young fan to so. Videos the brave media come qualify and yet me say mem and yet technical issue, but a individual issue, a nipa.
Within the
Jumanu Master America. Sabotage. What I'm saying is, a Jumano, you have only 24 hours every day, every time a young Wajuma. It doesn't end on Fridays. Saturday, cap program, your guy movement TV. Sunday, last week, the same thing.
NDC for catch Ghana for say. Ukrana yeno e man krane bon President Mahama e ka so be petition wa ye ke for krase Ghana mabru ene honorable Frank Amoako ne NDC for catch Ghana for say free education Ukrana yeno e man krane bon President Mahama e ka so be petition wa ye ke for krase Ghana mabru I don't go free SHS or top exams West Africa no crano of Phyllis upon a monk granted dinkunim. And Dr. Frank Amoako not check Ghana for and in the NDC for say yes. And Krana could follow the free education by no more yet. And I send a message, man. What am I adjourning? Na me catch us say about as a interchange.
Okay.
Politics are
alcohol.
And I'm a coho.
Okay.
On the politics there be a try to be change baby.
Okay.
Ya try to be change baby. No more what you this week. Ya bani ya car say be a must tia way and the side Sarah say yana. I question what table say politicians. I just say you never see who be say BBC a woman. Honorable Frank Amwako, the regional minister, my brother Basso. Say Oman crime no idea na mo kan wa hanya na ejina exposure
kwa na boss de yenya
ne I mo na ba de kama se ba de
man oba na baso
ala nti me kan se ba 10 seconds me se my brother Basso say no na nyina so amu nyina mo ka bi de brother Basso so man crime exposure kwa me crime tie dan no ho a na se car si twam kra no mutimi nya kokodro ye de omo ye na e che se obedo mo confidence e ade am friends e good Kwame asokwa interchange ena ye penti na no wo kan asem bi o ha me no nya adwene se MPP for power o kan bi a kire ya yintie nti wo friend say obi tie che obi ntie che obi Kwame o man no ne bibia o de ba bia na ba betumi aye
the casa politicians so
yeah o say MPP for no the message but that is what you said. Now, met me know I agree because a beer what try many times, so evidence out there can answer. Kwame, a bit me at them to do maybe so another Kruma NDC bar power. You two are more for someone name or Kruma manye. It may include a beer, so for lie, and as a coin interchange in the scene, say be a baby. Obisuma more for two so many manye. But President Kufo, a bear Krum have a dear dear. Obesi as a coin interchange. Esi so full interchange and yes, you move be abaso because was in crack penti home. And to say to me, more dear, we see an abaso, don't penti one ever abaso. So, my point is, a dear regional minister to one among ye. Now, so say, I can't, dear, no one, some I can, ye may know some American say. Take away MPP and DC. Yes, in the can't something mine once a near say petitry. I flash anti mama, ye cultural heritage. Cry as a focus or a day paint as a bomudia. We will 2 for near him for free and the petty brain free as antimemo. I pay just as a cow. Wait here, Jacob for free. And when you say paint picture, many passport as I say, whatever he's doing, you know, or no political interest. And you can say, yes, you be a good society or yeno. Additional cajon, and Tiaman Cranum Penti Jacob for because I never Jacob for as Antonio Fras Antimemo, our 83 or my women. Je kufuaje hwe kura no no si interchange no anu na mo pese be ka say obi na ye e wo power nti kwa be be ka ene honorable Frank Amwako ne NDC for ka kire Ghana for say free education no kura no ayeye no e man kura ne bon President Mahama e ka so be petition wa ye ke for kura say Ghana mabru I don't go free SHS so mo top exams West Africa no kura no of Philisa ya pon ne man kura ne dinkunim and Dr. Frank Amwako na kire Ghana for and in the NDC for say yes and kura na akufo do free education by no mo moye o more opportunity am betumi pass why exams I am top of the whole of West Africa because I never kura na ba bonten abishu kisi de chiromu and the free SHS e wa bonten and only idea my friend says significantly the mam kura na hu say baby o mo free baby no bedru baby o mo free and say omunya aban bia ohun se omu bi na nkom kosko enye yi na so edo mo kwa betumi aye de asika fo ma kosko mutumi ye ne bi ya de sa akonya na mo President Jacob for bae no Kwame even after asokwa interchange cry say ye no still na enya atonsu kwana na okwa atonsu na express na ade a na 4 hours and so say na Jacob for aba be interchange through asa ama kufo ado aba beto akwa no so akodura putu oja kora na no say asantemase anya ade a do be penti ho na aye bibi Kwame say ya bayi akwan afiri akodura putu oja yeguso to aso ya nwi ebo echi no ya anya hwe a de openti ho na aye bibi adonti in as much as say you identify say you beautify kurumba and ye man kora that exposure no won't we try discuss asem no man kwete say I don't know baby woman.
Okay, me can say obidi ajemba na say ewie paya e ho kwan say yeso ye de adwofofo eba. I am glad that you're making it this way. Say I didn't you know, and yet the boniso. Emo o charging asi bibi so say senka it we do so eka ho a kebet me abua. I agree with you perfectly. I agree with you perfectly.
I'm not doing the argument of saying Ghana Akufo-Addo ha me say Kufo basically because as an timpen for the point to my Mahama picture no and ma ama kwanya school ni bia na kofa yo in scheme of work I prepare mo be say Kodro Mahama to. And this is the reason why people have cause to complain.
Yeah.
So the president Muhammad told us a certain president the man who was also president to let's paint it.
Yeah, okay.
It's as simple as that. Now my boy as a quite youth for number so say my normal press release. It is good so my train on my business so.
Exactly.
Now my caution almost say me am fa gidi. Into Sana Mono.
Yeah.
I appeal in reference it is the right thing to do.
Yeah.
Let us direct the people to do the right thing.
Okay.
In fact they did. And you have to say chinchina because the whole area public space.
Yeah.
Sabe or more that I say Homa there to come up to me draw be a normal.
Yeah.
So man drop Jacob for a bread penny bet me a quadro.
Okay, but Nathan say the schools are more involved no, and the instructors are more. They all came with their designs.
Yes.
Okay, and yeah, boss Abia. Space way where there didn't be also a bit draw yasantoa say so the schools actually came with their design but it's good that you are saying say yamfa ebi enka ho na enrich
all the school no be
na enrich the conversation. I agree with you. Okay, Matase
me na meja ho ama me nua moto aso no kwa me enen sama koso Ghana na munye bo na monka na manka kwame o man say ya ba mu ntumi nka bi wo ye ba dia mo pesa mo kana mo so mo nkasa kwame mo nka bi wo na ene ma ekoso no e ha adwene menu am akohwe me di wie no de nsema nkrofo ka mo pesa mbet no amamu a ye de ma no no a obadi animu adi asanteman o mfa hwe ma ha wo o mani timo nya ne de because social media for bonabaso yen the popularity ye problem. The problem is what didn't be see form. No, I him put to do my pa real. As a social media fans no and answer can I say we no follow we no collapse here. That's not transfer bet me who so be the minister no. This and that no so to me the no. Honorable Simon say mensa. He may have had his flaws to say Sibia and Crawford crack one and Jay only abotre onu ha ba kwame. And put to Juba there. And put to Juba there. America krabi ya be bona baso se na mo mpese mo be hu America krabi mo ba start dey atoto hu say yes oye bi se yesena na kokko na enye na na onsresre nchire nipa emputu djuma de ntia mo akọ na mesre no menua no o mane me te se ase e boje no so na hu na mamu na yebu na firi nkraba ande kwame ekoyi o anu de agu amamu a ese ekoyi a na mo na mo ka ho ade adanse sa ye aban tumi tua djuma foka na o tumi tua djuma foka de na cheso o mane koyi okobobosia na de betua ka akufo ado kobobosia be free education okobobosia be ye kwan mo so oguman na wo akobobosia ultimately this can plan for ka yeso okobobosia be so sika so no atua wo say o man na yiye kwa me mo me hwe ni yiye me friend say o man na yebu no nye Ibrahim Mahama
enfa na atochima
enfa na yi ama wo to no de be dansa
ya menum ti
ati de he ati no no correct me de bibu I know to mutia on make no pa my camera person and to come here and na to Ibrahim Mahama fa Ghana sika nyina ye mineral reserve kwa me mami ama no I can fa camera na ntuna ni kwa me ka
David why they the man has been an entrepreneur for a long time during the time change. When you're doing that comparison, no problem, but my just say we cannot also take away the entrepreneur skills are any the kind of companies are President Kufuor time EMP
Ghana investment bank ben so che Canada bank
I think
no me bisa of akwa me bisa
I didn't come for ho
asam na Ibrahim Mahama ni NDC oban kan vacant for that town
ne tio
o da bi ofo kwame mutumi tie
adu say adusi Frank ne tie ni say obi ya de
na ye dey
now wo jama wi
yantu nyenye ofo kwame be bi pa ye be bi pa
there was a difference
there is no difference sana mo dey bad ya ofo kwame this time around no ye meye MPP ayi o some people they will be some crana, can some go as one ye de Koyabia, measuring tape now the measure MPP no. Since somebody the same measuring tape measure NDC. Yam metrama, mode our matente be measure MPP nedro NDC ama en ketwa. Yan say you. Sana and Central for Maya, I know, NDC for them can fine, MPP for them can ye and fatamo, fataye. Yabekapa, you're Ibrahim Mama. Sabio na yi Rajab Dramani mama ba ya no woko okwaje UMB bank bosia odi do check call ya check na ntimi ankle and na ni ya ba ya wa to play $70 million wo se mayenka
me wana ka benga
and a black voter mining concession black voters so mun fama wo Azuma resources so mun fama Ibrahim mama ya wa ha wo mo and a lands and forestry minister Fred black voters so Azuma resources meeting from Gaza yaje $100 million ade atia wo so akọ raise botia AFDB e de babeje eno ma yedin wokruma
why na yedi
ma yedin wokruma ya wa ha enne Sankofa mines ya de ama Ibrahim mama ma yedin wokruma ya wa ha sesi enne daman enra Minister of Lands and Forestry the letter ba enne de so mu be competitive tender meanwhile Ibrahim mama de fidie credit kan wo ma yedin wokruma ya be kapa
o video no mo
video be ana minya maso we de minya maso
me na me kasa da aye na obekwa me
ana minya maso
problem am create o ma we mo say ne e okrum ha na Ibrahim ama ye entrepreneur ene de nkomodie sa na kwa me President Mahama obi antan no but enra na o opposition leader and some of kan ye no eno na edi ninya na do dan for Kufuado kra omutumi ka say plane no a na do team no ye MP no say de ko hwe ho no owu a na de ne ahore
ana kan
ana de akwana obumangra akwana mo frɛ no say akwana te ayi no SYZ no obumangra
na ini na
ne di say NDC for
Sami Jamfi mo ya demonstration kum na do maye radi kum na do maye wa di
na Ibrahim Mahama plane na sorry aye
Dimitri
mo sorry ana mo ka kire ye say
kum na do maye
say afekura de o start to plane na Kufuado time anya no kre na o ka analysis o mo ye say plane be the 2 years na to anya no kre kwa me say o ko to plane now say plane na akwa we team salam kafra salam team na no bi na me pa e pre-owned. The design is there, the make is there. And I will pay. It doesn't take time.
Take the
7 months, 8 months. Over to me
2025 budget no mo de ba say Ghana ya kwakoto 2026 budget mo say ya kwakoto presidential budget. Anya no say ya ba November.
Eba November. That's your pass mra na nche.
I don't know say the ukoto aje di 2
because anya plane bi ni ho. And I also want to say mun design for from am. Na kwa me be kan maka che so Ibrahim Mahama a businessman. Gabia Saroche Dako or law firm. Lawyers be bree ukrum ho madiye.
As an
lawyers be bree o madiye me onim. Tapa a former MC Martina.
Yeah.
No ye duma we ku bank. Asa no ba na bere bi no nkrofo ka sikasem no ka bedi atu so say hey. Asante bedi atu munim no me as a banker ma managing sikada. Way back here from 2012 I say me say me as a personal banker to papa no $300,000 beton for accounts mu ba ko yi desem ya manage kania o sisi ka me ma manage wo papa na accounts no enye bi nsema amoka no you might not know him but because of an association with the president intino yes Asante Bedi to service wo tori no tompa ba kro ekronfo we have to accept it like that say won ya bedi tibia bi no do ban ne dia obi asodi and Ibrahim Mahama ko function or hobi as an executive of this government. Edru baby utimi ko traka ma etia mraba Ghana. I don't know where we are going. The whole president aye na na ebo no ka. Na ni nua fa no adane the driver. Nobody cares. Whether ni nua no osia convoy marshalling osia enfa ho. No answer ni nua no osia. Now the president atraka mu no twi. Kwa me
NDC.
I never come in with you, Ghana.
Oh, yeah, what's Ibrahim Mahama driver with president?
Away.
Okroma and Kana event to be I was such and give it to you. I was such and give it to you. But driver, I even complained on a show like this. Kwame,
as a president or as
as a president of that Ray. Now Mahama Babudiana Monye. Most of Yamia and the Sunni Pamada. Mahama Yan I know a president. Yeah, not Kanian to Mison. Most of whom used to Christo for Fry, I won't know. I'm my own when I'm Ghana for. And obey to be Bia, Mrebia, Nip or Mambi because Mahama Modono. And then I'm the last 1 year. Why you be Bia could say,
what happened?
Video.
A video. AI.
And a video. I'm heading. And you convoy the coin.
President and your convoy. I better a president of Move convoy.
Event family event.
Family event, as a president or family event. No, I just want to be sure so now will you wait.
I want clarification. I will not go to that.
Oh, say, you know, video of a packet. Light was on.
Yeah.
I'm packing to see the job on the driver. Yes, a convoy.
Who I warn you about saying your mama.
President
Mahama or the Kufado, president. Mammy, now they are Sicilia Dapa, Yama Missila Dapa.
Now, so yeah.
Unni Yama Missila, oh, me patron Salameba, Yama Missila Dapa, Yenny politics and Tonche. Of a guy fear my Mrs. Ladapa Frimo. Only my Mrs. Ladapa Nukun, Ghana for. I get that Ben organ or you can almost catch him. Yama Mrs. Ladapa. Yes, he had $2 was in the Sika or pay. And there's an end is one around.
I want to see the price.
Oh, yes, I am yes, Mr. Honest in the
but me say, Kofi do shop one. What is the car? I saw him pass it. Simply because of you could turn a Juma forecast. Other politicians say, yeah, business people are no cracket and one your business. Now, the only sudden music I have. I don't know me. My Japan, my two media was a media.
The moment you become a public
public officer, just my make and say, oh, bro, not bread because Obama the attitude. Very nice way. Person better and one thing is that yet. By a catcher, Ibrahim Mahama, Kwame Mummy. Now, President Mahama catcher Ghana for say, or himself could for do. Able to be a job on Diaka or your cromfo because when you sending you a baby Abano. Don't Kaiser video or say. When you say president, you bet you about Monta baby dive a castle on your cromfo because I could follow them say they are in I'm not trying to baby Amano. And to know, then you are no Yamano. By that logic,
Mr. Ibrahim, officer Dempa, Bonnie Bempa, Mrabempa, and a Wobusu.
Or Gada more than enough a brand new president. Conflict of interest in the Binono because conflict of interest in the back on the say. A bra and Crofazu Savo, Utumia would to be Peswa whom you are now Bush and Immobo. I am many favors and no conflict of interest. No, and in Ibrahim, people might not be abusing or breaking the laws, but people will be doing him favors because of Nimian Baby or Tiana. And then some agent fine Standogu Munsama Canaba contract across Nibientia. Standogu as deputy chief of staff probably has aided the appointment of so many of the current appointees.
So they owe him?
They owe him in principle. Or my friends let the be free. Jubilee House or Cray, you Madia. One of the people between our former Mama stop for Standogu Cajon. And this is Sandogo say no company or you to me but last way on Facebook say for complaints and carbide and count close to companies. If you are not close to your companies and then so open Juma you are bemuness own cock bidding. Oh, you don't bid. Your fat penny paper near the letter shows them so company near supply and your renovation. Our friend say as a deputy chief of staff. any problem. That is the biggest problem because Oma Jumukrano, Omu Humbonia, Omoye. I don't think Mr. Ibrahim, nobody wants him to fall. Said the near free second for Yata more established. I mean, the politics were Ghana, Waba for my year, may I quadrado for. Kwame Yen. Papa, he said they need him to Braba no Obon, or bear politics, and no man who come on the near maybe a fair Brenasi. Am I who's at the bank in the idea and somehow by a movie from a Chile who's a Papana Bonabra and Sanum Kofanamana by finance minister. And we wanted to defend him to the best that we could. Or no man who quite Jaja and home you soon. But the point I make can say, and the moment can say, Bahama, a president, you a businessman, or tell me what can't say, businessman to me through be a bushim. Bahama and Quandi do free more ye. Cronoa or Muboy.
Sole source contract. Yadiama companies, a coin no more. Now, for coin no more, no. Within 7 months, are buying by Oka coin no bone in Abumwa. 73 billion Ghana cedis. And Yadiama coin by a companies, one corner, Ubitimi Abed. And over now, PPA Act na 203 no. Act 663 no chere. A coin so be a sole source contract, so be per single source. A coin for so say 40 section 40 no 1 section 41 or say a procurement entity may engage in single source procurement under section 41 with the prior approval of the board in the following exceptional circumstances: 1, where goods, works or services are only available from a particular supplier or contractor. There's a adiano contractor back and a company but supplier back on the bitimi ediama. Could be that where there is an urgent need for the goods, works or services. There's an ADNA emergency into one way a pre about be delay. C, where owing to a catastrophic event there is an urgent need for the goods, works or technical service, making it impractical to use any other method. Just offer a coin be also in ye or no was any diano. These are some of the a year a choir PP Act and a cancer. Kwanya obiti mi afaso na de ama single source contract no for me bisa wo Ghana highway e kwan yi da ben na kwan yi say ni contractors bia o Ghana ha si egu sapetia say de mani pa ba ko be no ogu ye de ma di pa ba ko be no obede back in opposition yewura mahama ene yewura samija mfini yewura kuja to abla ko mo ka kire Ghana for ma Ghana for tia say na akufo ado epeso Ghana kronunti ena sebio contract akese nyina ye ne so source dovadenaza na going by their own logic no enne yewura mahama ene ne NDC Ghana krono enunti nene ekwan ayeye kwan contractors bibribe wo Ghana ha sapetin keke enya asfatu even sapetin ye ne single source na wadade de gozo maimu within 7 months, Matimiama road con 73 billion Ghana cedis.
That is only 44%
of the
entire contract.
Of the entire
44% of the big push contract.
Big push contract. Contract the Mudi I know the find the contract 44%. Road minister.
Yeah.
Roads now on one who listen. Listen, Mudi awahin. And you know contract I say a be or be two dada. And what was our friend old big push. Nanyano na kaseti aye. Dia o kaseti a ho say big bokro no ho nti no mu use no. Oba and you are doing worse. You see, you know NDC wo as time goes on, me say Ghana for bohunu NDC sumo mu buy pepe NDC. Says go kwa for do medical do matem. O ma bu mu kwase awie. Umkazo mbamo mu 70 million and no mobile sebi okufo adbo no kwaya sa so eno no da ho sebi of kwa me no ka say chere form ka jom the license exams o mu ntwere bio me no ka so mu schools mu twere license exams obu mu kwase a ena me no ka say se ne teacher ni bi kra na nurse ni bi ko demonstration so so ko kra ho ibepam ye wa Ghana ha ne wo ena ko he Guta for complaining, VAT yes, ya buy a better so, a bemania mabo, coheofa, and then VAT every 4% they do 20%. Menoka say Guta for the same Guta for the catcher say, and then oh clear goose and AI be abaho. Goose are first now with the 10,000 a year and the 50,000. This is the reality. and the young man this year, almost upon and Kufuado send 3 more thing, not to petrol, Omokatra said bombo tour, Russia and Ukraine, a bin talk, so a bin talk patasia. And then Iran and the USA, and then there's a bomb, a bit of Kajetia, into 4 war cosro. This is the NDC. And we had only Chrono mobile. Avoid Chrono. Then pay your own logic, and then some of you say, you will go for and call for boy a chrono, and dinner and the project be built up, only and so source. Now, warning, Adiaro, Okoya Rasamijan fee, the gold board office, one cassa, and then gold board officer. Young man, this will bregu, Miniambo Tia bregu. Brombrain for Samaso. And then gold board office renovation. Coming, Mammy Casada, now my trust. Gold board office renovation, Keke. Keko. Yeah, the Amad Deputy Chief of Staff, name Yamorutia.
Not you. And this
says NDC for Mabuna. Omoya campaign for the NDC, no, and for Swamaso.
Because the renovation.
Renovation, yeah, the Amad Deputy Chief of Staff. Now, don't know Sabio Sabuzongo, Eddie NDC, Chitimoto, Sokoneba, Ebregu, Yano, and for Sobenoya. Oh, yes, I the amount so source 11 million Ghana cedis. Eddie, I must stand up with. Or no Cassetiano, or no Cassan office, and then so source and no, Enra. Wakokra, yes, or Wakoto pickups, Prado. Worth over 36 million Ghana cedis.
But top pickups are auto Prado.
Oh, pickups count on Prado count.
Okay.
Richard Dupon, the deputy CEO. Over 36 million Ghana cedis. So source. Gold bond.
And say
this so source now Samijan Fika and some back in opposition. Say no na Kufado. At the Bogana Kuran. That's one also a for
on Gaza.
Number 2 video no more. Or I forgot video no maybe.
Or say when it comes to critical there were exemptions.
Exemption and say and now Kotoka as so source. Na kan so ni so source and any day. Overcoming renovation and acquire office and you so source. Huh? Send until you go to TV 8.4 billion. Say a competitive bid now and go bid the obviously the Baba Mom say TV and now call a high sense another call a year mola.
I say
TV. And not to go to TV 8.4 billion.
Kennedy turn TV. I say
8.4 billion. This is what is happening. And over share the ya hour when they say Nana do them go for the time. Overcome is on him sapiting.
Quiet friends appetite.
Now we are from 1 kilometer. I am from $300,000 to $600,000, depending on a quino how depending on the level of the road. Under this government, and now the same 1 kilometer of road, I have $1 million. And dear no. Broad day TV. Ava, Yawahai, this same government and then Omunyas get teacher for cow. Omunyas get teacher for cow. And then this same government and then Coco for Sabio Musica Yatisu. This same government of our nature and now Ubako University, school fees near Yatutum. This same government of our Saubako nursing teacher training college, first near Momadi and Indian Opavia number, and Nayamano Passa. Momumaya Hotrena Mokazo, a Hotraba. Yanina Yasumamono, Samuna Mochena Boya Chrono.
Answer.
Never know when I catch the inflation above. Now, yet then, acquire 1 kilometer, $300,000 to $600,000 within 1 year. I should to call $1 million. I didn't answer. Moya Sanya Mawenina because of so many competitive bidding. I'm Obia for Naima, you bet me beat down Costantino, near no so source.
All right.
And Yama Cost Ghana as is Yano, and Yan. Our hope. Now, quite as I say, no, Obia Di Obia Timinkasa.
Now, I know
from Munina Moana Moon Timinkasa some way.
What about Casasa?
I know from Muntimikasa. And then Santra Foa, Mutsigina, a baby supan and Kufadu Kroma. About this so sauce near the Adinia and never Brian Ukuma. Oh, say, and Santra Foa, Quantas Marty, and your interviews a Sam George. okuya tabla e dey asem no o betima ye ene what is o kan wasem bio
the first o kan wasem
ene wo na fufuo na no mu ye de Of a when now for no more than Obia can not Obia can to they are still working. Obia can not to Obia can first no and no Pebia Ubeso TV Ubet radio. No Maquasa a bottles, Aquafa a Tano River, Brem River, Juan River. Now they are some it was one shot here we and now what you are winning perfect and Jensen has said them before. So the Yamanam Catcher say Sabio Ghana a year why you know won't do me to guarantee. Okay, I'll be back. Meta say all right. Just about 28 minutes to 10. This is a pure morning drive. Let me throw in this birthday dedication to Asuna Busia Panyi of Abuakwa, Asene Manso, and the former district town and country planning director of Kwabre. Then I will say Kwekuberima from your daughter Amadankwa and the entire family. Today you are 73 years old. And wishing you that a happy birthday. Busia Panyi of Abuakwa, Asene Manso, and the former district town and country planning director of Kwabre, Nana Osei Kwekuberima. Happy birthday from your daughter Amadankwa and the entire family. Wishing you all the best. May you age graciously and may God protect you. This is a pure morning drive right here on Pure 95.7. Moro, I say Mesaba video in
Mesaba position sanity. Bro,
I see.
I am more time in cancel. I will call back tennis.
But there's more reason legitimate.
Yes, I will come there. Why not? Where Ghana need some are legitimate. But Tibia and Tia saying to say opposition for no more parliament.
Yeah.
Or come my mention on a venture what tea for nay or her for. I mean, cause you're breaking fast then.
Hey, sir. By majority decision, and I wear macro minority.
I you have lost it in advance. Why?
And now we lent
because Omono every time be no to me.
Okay.
Take a decision.
Okay.
So no for Kwame.
Okay. No, my told you answer. My told you answer.
I was here twice. They are proper Muslim. Nearly bravo.
I mean for a morning check. Oh, Kwame Mamentia, you Augustus Nanakos is still maintained. Now, Mencha is excellency.
That was it.
Yes.
Oh yeah. Oh good.
Bomb mafia church.
No, but seriously, I like his
the style. Yes, submarine.
Oh no.
That is that. Hey, Kwame. And now I'm a minority press conference, you know. And I'm saying, the minority can you say umupa they are any. I don't think so, it is right.
What's he say?
Almost say majority of the road contracts, big push, you know, Kwame on record, big push, you know, it's in two folds. New routes, any existing routes, I was say, it was so. Now, Kwame, majority of them are sole sourcing. Now, Kwame, unim. Now, minim crosses say on the website of Ministry of Roads. Now, on what day, you know, list of contractors and the type of contracts are on when you de bois, and so on and so forth. Okay, looking through the Mihu say, Ebia Kofidobu, yeah. Jache from so kwai. Now under big push, yeah, the contract no ebema biwa mi a continue. because you can't see we're free kwan so ana wa memeboa ti enya bi na ye ba be contractor there is no need in going to look for another or a new contractor whereas winim se kwan on na hye ne nsa wo ye there is nothing wrong with and they buy na you say these are contracts na okwame ka obe hu dede anka menuen ko be na ka videos obe body ka beje won se maybe crank on kasa but a government that is not deliberately selecting its own people I say look you people continue na ye adwuma no kokosi because they wa won e ba no nim kwan obefa so obehwe ne ye good opposition is very important.
But all these contracts we have, all the more be you say some particular people.
Exactly. Exactly. And
yeah, there's some contracts, especially some of the World Bank donor funding contracts.
They have
specific contractors. I say contractors so a great.
And the delivery aspect of everything.
You see, the thing is that Ghana, some
there are some contracts.
I know.
You can't take away from beer Kofi Job. You can't take it away. No, what I'm saying is that there are some contracts. You need specific logistics before you can even bid.
MC, no I'm common fund near the BBC Ajaji for dying. Nti ono ankasa no wan participating in roads ade no bebre nti on tiase o kwame
ma kwan am ye no
nyabutre o kwame
ma Greek minister
o ye say there me sama o
okay ma tell try
o kwame
say no ofre me bam
and the MPP narrative me matietie o mo including me on be so mo kire say in one breath una na mo opposition ana na musi so sasenye ana de ada na mo ba ya mo ye oh good scrutiny very good Kwame omo ansu wi a in another breath oh so sasenye nkeye but mo kan say nya in opposition ntine mo ba ni sam ye oh jaisa oh de no cry got it clear from it. Mr. Matiti Bibri, one antiti, aqua titi. Uncle for no bibri. Dear Mukan say enyeno in opposition. Ntini Casani and Cassanye.
The young was saying it.
Based on overcoming Messi, what the devil is always in the detail. Based on dear Mukan, oh, coming now, Bibian Papa and ye. Oh, coming, your man has say. And a man in charge of PPA, Ajenim Boateng. Na auton contracts.
Any matter me.
I PPA boss. I
auton contract one.
Ajenim Boateng, the former chief executive of Ghana's public procurement.
Auton contract one.
As the PPA is in charge of procurement of contracts. Yes. Let me give you one typical example. Conflict of interest. On one Kasakra, apart from selling, so let me read from here. Mr. J is facing multiple counts regarding the alleged use of public office for personal gain. Background: the investigation stems from a 2019 documentary linking him to a company, Talent Discovery Limited, that reportedly sold government contracts. Okami. Okami Ghana Web.
Ghana Web. Ghana Web. Echo Tubi. Ghana Web. Echo Tubi.
Okami. It was an investigation.
By who?
Okami, I'll get it for you. But Okami, look. It was news.
News item. What I'm saying is, news item is always quoting somebody.
Factual say it was something that happened in our dispensation, especially under the MPP.
Murray, what kind of
I will get it for you, but it is a public knowledge. Say
I should disregard it.
No, you are not disregarding it, but public knowledge say a certain Ajenim Boateng, chief executive officer under MPP's government, led by Nana Danko Kufuor, any Alhaji Mahmoud Bawumia, was, indicted
based on the fact say what two contracts now sense to be man a company that is linked
Morui okay dey be actually me and me say I dey know say Ghana would and I'm say Ghana would no onko to wine o kan kwa chire anka bi hunu because be attorney general ene kasa court ene kasa shrag ene kasa BNI ene kasa wine ene kasa in that cotage in that Adena country no.
If you want me to pull the story, I'm pulling the story, but let me continue. I'll get it for you before we move on.
Right.
But overcoming, the American Constitution say we have had an instance. I'm still on conflict of interest. So I know what I say. Why he was pinpointing was conflict of interest. Anamebwa. Conflict of interest. Where's Crow Associates? Woman no emergency bia and your monkwa any idea no one, but you know it was coming from the Auditor General report. Yera ya wasafo manfo ye search charge no kra wanko in the end omupe kwa bi so di papa ne frio do melovo ayi yera sami dem fi koti conflict of interest, a clear conflict of interest on the side of the vice president, who is now former vice president, and a flag bearer of the MPP. I will support no. And some contracts, in the contracts, Opa deny say no correct.
Contract by.
Oh, come in. Oh, come on one video no. If say, some of them feel contracts now work no. Yes, some of you know.
But Murray, let me ask you of your opinion on this. Conflicts of interest.
Yes.
What is your understanding of conflicts of interest? I just saying.
Exactly. Oh, Hami.
It is.
Some metia Moro Yakubu. Near the Juma Amami Asheminsa, especially public office.
Okay.
Na me de contract ema. Na ma shemia minua ebio di mechiti seba omia di. Na ma shenya mi anima sa and so na me ashen nsem.
Conflict of interest. So
only conflict of interest.
Okay. So say if good board contract. That's a good word. At the contract, deputy chief of staff. Would you classify that as a conflict of interest?
And yet, chief of staff, no, the man company that the chief of staff has. No, not own. And it's not the only person that owns it.
What are we supposed
to even in that regard, we have had an instant in this country where a minister of state.
We
have people like him who defended that stance.
I'm asking a specific question. By your definition of change, by your definition, sir, action is. Would you term it?
No, one because I
know your
CEO, Sami Demfi, and then and then the relation
so the conflict of interest definition
and then a down for so no and yeah chronism no cast and then a down for no meaning and a down for no so send a down for no fair enough.
Okay,
we are only party or come all party back who are thankful. Oh, Jaisa and Kabi Mammy and Kabi. Oh, come your party back until Nansu Binya one way or better when I back.
Okay, so conflict of interest.
Conflict of interest directly is somebody that is related to you. Oh, come so when your president
related to what sense?
In blood, that is what all I understand about it.
Okay, right.
And then now for some chronism. A conflict of interest. Oh, come
and you say,
you are Omunya na fufu minim. Oh, come omunya na fufu minim. But any say, yeah, can say, yeah, omu aye ni atamfu. Jo come. The American na say, obre, atwetwe bia no, osua na.
Yeah, what I say.
Obre. Dia omu hwia kofie akosie nyina ne say. Yenya bi kan ya che.
Yeah.
Nti say bibi say yaba. But the unfortunate aspect maybe no idea say one day they say was status or first month is very gentle, but the opposition there no matter I say aboboya or come say we suffer crown na aboboya so kind of but you know crisis.
Murray, do you think that on the nana pandemic say there's a country called Welsh now I'm the Mrabiaba and Brandon say oh, you're a politician. Now, Kasim, that's a later almost as one can and try. you forfeit your seat in parliament. So they have criminalized lies in policies. That's the first country.
I think Senka flag bearer exists.
So it's the first country in the world that almost at this time about so okasem in a way to power. Let's see who say I saw a kind and so they talk about misinformation and disinformation. These are the two things that say when you lie your way to parliament, you forfeit your seat. Now maybe so. Would you say, sir, during campaign time, as I said, you say, and never will be a kind. Now you're peppercorn, ABA exaggeration. Ebia, it was based on disinformation. Ebia, now we didn't even know the full facts and they kind. Should we be measured?
I always say, it is very important you put everybody accountable to one okay.
So can we hold a black one? Can we hold?
We must also hold standards. Very important. Standards are. Ebemi who say at the end of the day, Semi Moro Yakubu ne the go board amame. Na minua me the contract mana enye fair. Why is that enye fair? Because at the end of the day, be crown to me antiano. Kwame say ye who standard na no matter the agbena na me political agbena de ho. Kwame they cannot tell me say they said everything right in opposition before say Omuyi President Mahama Banya Nebi kan everywhere.
Okay.
They said a lot of things.
Right. So
at the end of the day we stayed within idea, but Omukrano they gave us everything to criticize. Even in the first instance of Azumi power.
Okay.
For cash and all those.
Let me talk to Simon.
But 1 year and still running, they are not getting it.
And I'll come to you. And then it's a Black Star match, right?
Black Star.
Okay, so I'll come to you because I know.
Before I say, I want to say, cash. It's a decision now. Omo eteki cash eteki was say was prepared Senegal.
Yeah.
They say holding it on.
Hold on, say
I had to say the injunction. Atuso.
One day
injunction. Cars in a day. A friend is arbitration. In the meantime,
okay.
Senegal for no medals and then caps in a day.
They should.
Pending further. Exactly, substantive case in Ankasano. And almost any mountain chance on a castle in you, a castle in you are, baby. Suswadi boarding who go.
Okay.
Now, or the
stay of execution.
Exactly, in football.
I'll come and conclude. So, now, maybe say, Sir Adia Welsh, a country called Sir Welsh for Eda Bay. Do you think you should guide us in our deliberation? Because one of the in the arguments, the politicians led their country to go for war in Iraq, thinking that there were weapons of mass destructions or Iraq. It later came out saying, "Sir, one I no she and your mother that nipano ebiduma traumatizing us for." So if politicians lie their way to power, you forfeit your seat. So now they have criminalized a lie. Do you think that we have to learn something from it? So see, I can't. I do see by my boy and Nema Miensa. I just say, and Nema, ya can't be a opposition. I need or no so I can't some. I can say, where that for? And I said, Monkadokre. Do you learn something from that criminalization of lies?
Listen, I think the Welsh here in ADBR. I support it, but what level? Because when people say so, we are trying to talk it to be also for 50 the seat. And so offer the AC with Welsh involved.
But I think it's the gravity of the because the Iraq case, you see,
it involves lives and property.
Yeah.
As a result of obedience away, and I think that's one day we support. But then it's a problem. There's a difference between sole sourcing and single sourcing.
Okay.
The PPA Act.
Why you should
the PPA Act.
But
Would there be said PPA Act no?
or say there's a difference between sole sourcing and single sourcing. Okay, tell me the difference.
Sole sourcing is whereby the procurement is the only alternative in terms of price or quality and ability to do the work.
Okay.
And to do the agency and begin further say, oh, Ibrahim will be outside and I be bizarre. But praying, when one a bit my and I say the price is better. And I saw a little bit my delivery and a panel and take their money. Single source in an idea, whereby a baby wall, but you choose to pick one.
Restricted. Or 10.
What does it? Or bear 10. No.
David.
Single sourcing and you go and do that.
No, you should quote from the PPA.
David, Frankie, or train, or chain.
But the definition of this is
procurement. David can or the better to Ghana Brown. But that's only. David, your single source and your
single source. Okay. But single source, you are singling out of many.
Okay. I know this one out. I know what do you consider?
I don't know corruption.
Okay.
Because that's one no dear. Now come opportunity say mo be able.
Okay.
But it choose to say, oh, me fees away na better money. Maybe sometimes your excuse could be the same to say in terms of agency, but it's not as same as sole sourcing. In the case of social legend, and then the other catch up and say, yeah, the man I didn't crack company because and the company is the only company made by the painting at this moment. And the time factor, I'm not enough personnel. Maybe I say painting, I'm not bet by. But then the man, Salam company, and the agency in Yes, I don't want to bet by bet. Never in time to use or a person. They are two different things.
Okay.
So sole sourcing is different from single sourcing. But I also PP at 663 our Casana. I have more on the sole sourcing. But doesn't take away the fact that single source is so.
Okay.
Diana, Uti, Diana, Joma Maker, mostly. Sorry. President Mameka, audio PNA. But the mama was hammered on a single source, or in audio. He was used the word a single source, should be taken out of our way. Say, too much.
Okay.
But so source is a young legend. So doesn't happen sometimes, and young one say, oh, yes, sir. But the combined situation now, you have no other thing to solve. Oh,